So today we're going to break down Olivia and her three albums. I think I can't think off the top of my head an artist who's had a better first three run album of their career. Can you?
Very, very difficult. And
Mhm.
even putting in her contemporaries or the people that we love to compare her
Right.
to, thinking of a Taylor,
Yeah.
thinking of other pop divas, you'd be hard pressed to find a better three album run. I agree.
Yeah. Agreed. So I'm having you on here today because I want you and I to sort of debate the three best songs on each album. I'm sure there'll be some crossovers. I'm sure there'll be some differences. Where do you want to start? You want to start with the newest, or do you want to start with the oldest?
Ooh, can we start with the oldest? Because I'm
Sure.
having trouble with this new record. I feel like it's
Okay.
recency bias, and also I haven't. I mean, I've definitely dove in, but I haven't
Yeah.
had really a chance to sit with it. So I would love to start with Sour if we could.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Isn't Guts the first album?
Nope, Guts is
Oh, right.
is
Guts
the
the
sophomore
second. Yeah,
album.
that's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
I get those names mixed up. Yeah. So let's start with
Yes.
Sour. Okay. You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I'm good either way,
All
however you
right.
want to do
Ladies
it.
first. Ladies
All
first.
right,
What's
amazing.
what's your number three song on Sour?
The one that started it all, the canon event in pop culture history. I'm going with Driver's License. We don't have the incredible records without that song. Cannot stress the importance of that record enough.
Mm,
Even when we think about TikTok and discovery, and for musicians and singers and songwriters, when we think about someone bringing back ballad to pop radio and the frequency of which that song was played,
right.
when we think about the crossover with, High School Musical, the musical, the series, when we think about the drama and the power of that song, I think you'd be hard pressed to find something that really, like, quite literally stopped the world.
Right.
And it's also just quite literally a gorgeous song. And when
Hmm.
we think about women who write beautiful bridges, transformative pieces of music,
Hmm.
I think about that a lot. I think about how that record really takes you literally into her vehicle with the beginning and
Right.
kind of that, ambient noise off the top. But then you get into this really big, crazy pop kind of masterpiece towards the end there. And it's just stunning. I love
All
it.
right. Okay. It does make my top three. I won't say where it is, but it does make my top three. Number three for me though is Brutal. I remember when we were working together and we were comparing notes on it, and I did not like that song at the beginning. And you were like, "It's a great song." I'm like, "I don't know. I don't know." I thought at first it was immature. I thought like it was too trying too hard, but now few years into it, and after seeing her open in Massey Hall with that song and re-looking at the lyrics, that song is a banger. It's so good, and I love it. And I also just want to know where my teenage dream is.
Exactly,
Right?
exactly. Again, speaking of canon events, hearing that open, her show at Massey,
Yeah,
incredible, gagged, gooped,
yeah,
where they kept doing that guitar riff off the beginning, and they did it like
I
10
know.
times to get the crowd hyped. I remember, like, the feeling of being there and the
Yeah,
crowd, like, the tempo and the adrenaline was pumping, and it was just truly like a magical concert moment.
it
I
was.
completely agree. Speaking of generational runs, I don't know an artist who has a better run of openers on their albums, and we'll
True.
get into that
Okay.
as we
Okay.
get into
All
my
right.
list.
All
But
right.
Brutal is up there for sure. An
Okay.
incredible song.
All right. What's your number two?
Number two for me is Deja Vu.
Mm,
I feel
okay.
like I feel like people will go single cut, easy
Mm-hmm.
choice.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and for that, you're wrong. I think it is one of the most, in terms of all of her singles, it's the most re-listenable. Like
Mhm.
when I hear it on the radio, it's a no skip. There is something so cloyingly sweet about it. There is something so nostalgic with that, strawberry ice cream in Malibu, that
Right.
beachy, nostalgic feel. Um, Also, watching reruns of Glee being annoying sing harmony, that's my life, girl. Tattoo it on my
Right.
forehead.
Right.
That lyric stays in my mind rent free. And the fact that she didn't even watch Glee, and she
Mm-hmm.
said that, like, her and Dan Nigro were just working on that lyric and he kind of threw that in there, I think is freaking genius, because he
Mm-hmm.
got the millennial experience down. Like, the girls were gagged when we
Yeah.
first heard that. I think it's also a pivotal song in her catalog because of all the drama that kind of stems around it, with the idea of, was some of the elements of Cruel Summer borrowed.
Mm,
Then we get into this lore of, like, the tension between her and Taylor.
right.
You also get into kind of the nitty gritty of, like, you know, her relationship with Joshua Bassett. And then there's that, you know, note of like, is Sabrina in this? Like there's so many layers and interesting. Again, like I think the genius of Olivia's songwriting is that it just harkens to so many different pieces of pop culture that it almost feels relatable to any of her fan base, or even just the casual entertainment fan. Like there's so many elements that people can kind of grab hold and discuss. So that's why I love that song.
And there's also the mention of Billy Joel. So, you know, right? Can
Hello,
you right?
Which I think Olivia is the Billy Joel of her time.
Wow.
When we talk about a girl who is on the piano and building songs in that specific way, like not to overblow it.
Right.
But I just, in terms of a female, like, I mean, we obviously have, you know, there's a Vanessa Carlton, you can, you know, but there are, you know, there's Diana Krall, but she's in a completely different genre. Like when I think of like pop anthems that are at the piano that have stayed cultural touch points, who else is doing it? Like Olivia and Billy. I don't know. That's my hot take. I feel like I've given several in the last.
You have, yes. So that's fine. We got time. You can do more hot takes. I'm going to go with Enough for You as number 2. I love a sad Olivia. I love Olivia, who is proclaiming all her love and doing everything she can to make a boy love her, and just feeling like, you know, she learned his coffee order, she read all his self-help books, and she just doesn't ever feel like she's enough. It hurts the heart, it crushes you, and her voice carries it so well. Like I just, you know, to me, I think that is her second best song on Guts.
Are absolutely stunning. And I think for me, such a universal female experience that she was able to, there's specificity in it, but it feels so universal. And I think you'd be hard pressed to find a young woman who hasn't gone through something similar. And I think that's the beauty of that song too.
Yeah, she captures it so well.
So well.
Yeah. All right, number 1.
Okay. and come for me if you want.
All right.
But Favorite Crime is the best song on Sour. And here's why.
Okay.
If you have gone through some things in your life, and if you've dealt with some trauma, that song is insane.
Okay.
That song is sickening. She did her big one with that. The pen was crazy. Again, another transformative bridge where she starts spitting it's almost like she's like going around in her circle in her mind, and it's just like, it's like trauma dumping. And then it's that big note, look what we became. And she's like begging, and like the ache and the hauntingness. And like, there's so many lyrics in there that are insane.
Right.
Like, oh my God. Like that song to me is just a masterpiece. I think when speaking what you said about Enough for You, and like when she's hurting, that song to me is like, it's just the pinnacle of that, where she is really just absolutely devastated. And not only devastated, but reflective on how, you know, kind of in Enough for You, like she gave her all, and like, and she kind of gave herself up, and like, how dare you? Like, yes. One of the best how dare you songs in the history of pop music. There's so many special lyrics on that song. Like I can't even name them all, but it is so powerful. And I cannot believe she was that young when she wrote that song.
Right.
There's a level of maturity, a level of imagery that she is evoking in Favorite Crime. That I again, who is doing it like that? Right. At that age.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No one.
Else. Yeah. That's, you know, I can get behind you for that pick. I'm going with Driver's License. That sort of for all the reasons that you said, like the song created where we are today. Like if there was no driver's license, we would be having this discussion. And as you said, it's not just, you know, a reason, you know, it's just a gorgeous song as well. Like, and it has so much production value, and you can feel everything in that. And like, you know, as much as I don't like seeing women being pitted against each other, the whole Sabrina Olivia thing is, you know, is music dreams. Like I love a music feed more.
Timeless.
Right?
Timeless. We've been here before.
Yes.
Gwen and Courtney Love. We've been here before. Like it's just, I hate, yes, agreed.
Yeah.
I hate to see two queens fighting it out, but man,
It adds
what
to it. It adds to it.
interesting layers and lore. And so you kind of touched on it, but so cinematic too. Like,
It
my
is.
God,
Yeah, you can
gorgeous.
picture it, and it's such a big song when it makes SNL, and you have them singing along to it, like it is just like Adele's "Hello," like it is that type of song, right? So, it had to be number one for me.
Period.
Period.
Excellent comparison.
Okay, let's move on to album number 2 then. And I'm allowed. It can be from Spilled, because one of my songs is from Spilled. So
nice. I was a little concerned.
Okay.
I will say I went just the OG.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
But listen, as someone who loves a bonus track, it was too many layers. I will say, like, as an honorable mention, So American is absolutely a great pop song. Stunning. Yeah. My third pick for Guts is Ballad of a Homeschooled Girl. Everything I Do is Tragic. Every Boy I Like is Gay. Once again, girl, what? Are you in my head? What is going on? Like, again, just lyrical masterpiece in terms of the female experience. I think specifically for maybe people who have ever felt awkward in their own skin, or have had trouble in that coming of age era.
Right.
There's so much in that song that is so fun. And she captures the teenage experience, that high school experience, even though, she's dubbing it homeschooled. There's something so universal about that song as a female during those teenage years. And just so much, that song is fun. Like, when that song comes on, it kind of shifts the album for me. And I'm like, okay, we're back. Like, we're so back. This is like, it's fun. It's tongue in cheek. It's cheeky. It's silly, but it all rings true. And I think that's the power of her songwriting, as well, as like, there's so much truth and universality in her lyric. But also the production is so fun. Like I think Guts can get very dark and edgy at some points in the record. And this song is just a silly, goofy time. And I love a silly, goofy time.
Nice. For my number 3, I think, as much as you think Olivia can write for, and she does write for young women, I also think she writes a bit for a 17-year-old boy. And I think Making the Bed feels like that the most for me. So that's number 3 for me. Her voice, obviously, again, in this, like, I just love a slow down, sad Olivia voice. But it's so vulnerable. But I think just the whole idea of, like, feeling like you don't belong, right? Like, this whole idea that you're trying everything, and do you want to be out with your friends? Like, you don't know. It's just this feeling, and she captures it so well. That I think anyone can relate to. And I think, I just can't say enough good things about Making the Bed. It's just one of my favorite tracks in this album. I think it sort of just stands out to me. So yeah, that's my number 3.
Beautiful song, very introspective.
Introspective.
Also, this understanding of, like, you are your own, like, worst enemy, and it's actually, I'm making this bed that I don't like. I don't want to lay in it. Yeah, I am the cause of what I'm looking at, and I'm about to step into, and I don't like it. And how do I get out of that? And I think that reckoning is so fascinating, and we don't hear it in a lot of teenage, like, again, when we think of teenage writers, what are the themes? What are they looking at? What are they diving in? Of course, love is universal, and but what she is looking at in terms of self-discovery, depth, introspection, the experience of being alive at a particular point in her life is so fascinating, and she does it so well.
She does. Yeah. All right, number 2.
Number 2 for me, again, another album opener, because, again, like I said, this is a generational run. All American Boop. I don't know if I can swear on here.
Sure, why not?
But All American Bitch is a crazy opener. Just like Brutal captures you, All American Bitch. When I first heard this, like, when this was the opener, and I was like, oh my God, Olivia's sophomore album, it's here. What is she going to serve? Like, what are we going to be looking at? And particularly after, the lead singer is Vampire, which is, again, this kind of more piano style ballad. Again, it's dark, spooky. And I'm like, okay, like, where are we going? Like, I'm seeing, a little bit of similarities, but I can sense that we're going somewhere. And then All American Bitch starts. This record is crazy. Built Like a Mother in a Total Machine. Again, Olivia, get out of my head. Girl, what? What do you know about being a mother? Hello? Like, I mean, what do you mean?
Yeah.
I mean, this idea of, it's so interesting. You know, she's feeling all of this. I just read her Cosmopolitan article, and she was feeling all of this pressure after the success of Sour. And how am I going to follow this up? How am I going to, make this sophomore record? And what am I going to say? And how is it going to land? And just, she decides to kind of speak about everything that everybody is talking about her in this capacity, this all-American bitch. And, I know my place. This is it. Like, it's such a, again, not to repeat myself, but she has such a pulse on what it's like to be a woman in the world at such at an interesting time in that coming of age era. But not only that, just like existing in society where we've got these insane societal pressures and the age of social media. And, just like the way that she deals with it, like even when you mentioned Brutal, like, where's my teenage dream? Or like, even on All American Bitch, she says, all the time, I'm grateful all the time. I'm sexy and I'm fine. I'm pretty when I cry. Like, it's just the way she talks to herself in that song is very interesting. And I just think it's such a cool concept and a great opener.
It is a great opener for sure. Can't disagree on that. I think with Olivia, I think and probably any music fans change their minds on what their like favorite songs are. And so, asked me a couple weeks ago, Vampire would have been number 2, but just because I think it was such a quite a different take from what we were used to from Olivia. And I think it stood out, and it just proved to people that she was not just this one sort of note that I think some people thought she was out there for some. But for me, is sort of like your deja vu. It's mine is Getting Back.
Yes.
I think it's just such a fun song. It's saying like every time that they get in a fight, just fly me to France. Like, come on, the double meaning of like, is she getting him back as like she's getting revenge, or is she getting back that she wants him back? Right, is great. And then I think one of my favorite lines she's ever written, I am my father's daughter, so maybe I can fix him. Right,
bars,
like
pen,
that
fire,
line,
smoke. It's crazy.
It's so good.
I also love that Get Him Back. So you have Get Him Back. And then on Tortured Poets, you have Taylor coming in who does I'm going to get you back. And it's, again, that double entendre, that double meaning. Yeah. Am I going to be your wife, or am I going to smash up your bike? And it's very interesting, again, watching the parallels of their careers and this tension. And that was listen, I love Tortured Poets Department, and I love that Taylor record, particularly the anthology, the second half.
Me too, yeah.
But as soon as I heard I'm Gonna Get You Back, which is one of my favorite cuts off that record, as soon as I heard it, I was like, ooh, she was listening to that Olivia record, because you can't, girl. Right. I'm seeing the similarities. And Olivia did it first, so I think that's very cool.
Yeah. All right, what's your number 1?
Number 1 pick, again, I feel like this is going to be a sleeper and controversial, but walk with me.
All right.
Lacey is my favorite song. This song is so gorgeous. When we talk about Olivia's haunting vocal, this kind of dreamlike, trance-like state that she can really elicit, and I feel like she actually leaned more into in this latest album of hers, is so stunning musically. When I think of the production, when I think of like the production musical melodic highlight of Guts, it's Lacey for me. I also think it's one of her strongest songs in the subgenre I like to call female envy. Olivia writes a lot about this. She writes songs like Jealousy, Pretty Isn't Pretty. There's a lot of this theme of like her comparing herself to others and like always looking at someone else to define her own success, when like, if you zoom out, she's like the most successful, beautiful young woman in the world. And I just find that so fascinating and interesting, that is also a universal feeling I'm sure a lot of young women feel. And like, if Olivia is feeling this way, like, we're all cooked. But, I think Lacey is such a beautiful song. It also has some of her most interesting lyrical choices. And by interesting, I also mean like whack. Like skin like puff pastry?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What does that mean? Does it mean crispy? Does it mean tan? Does it mean like, what does it mean? I want to know more. It actually takes you kind of out of your listening experience a bit. And you're like, oh, what does this mean? What is she trying to say here? And I think, again, I think of songs, on Taylor's Tortured Poets. I think of Clara Bow, where it's this idea of comparison and, women can only be acknowledged if they're compared to other women, and that's like, and there's a reference point that they can figure out.
Right.
And I just think that again, it's such a nuanced song, but it's also perplexing and interesting. And it's nothing. I think the thing why I go back to it is that there's nothing else on any of Olivia's discography like it.
Yeah.
It is a one and done, and I think it's really special.
Yeah. I think when I first heard the album, it was one of my favorites. I thought it was a beautiful song. But as much as you love the puff pastry line, I do not.
That's fair. That's fair commentary.
It feels to me like what Sabrina said, like maybe there was no other word to rhyme with blonde, right? And she had no other word to rhyme with Lacey at the time. And also, it's just that, I don't know, the word Lacey doesn't seem to fit with the song to me.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm misunderstanding what she means by that, but maybe I'm not. I don't know. So to me, I still think it's a beautiful song. I still do, but it has dropped a little bit for me. But fair. Respect. I understand why it's number one. I'm going with, as I said, with Spilled. So American is number one for me. That song is just like, it's just punkness at its best, right? Like the pacing of the song, the guitars, everything in that song, like she just takes it to another level. And then when she's like, God, I'm going to marry him, like being, any sort of, male, just hearing that lyric, that like, just hearing someone like Olivia saying how much she wants to marry a man, like it does something to you kind of, right? Like it just puts you in a space. It just, to me, like that song is just so fun and so Olivia in control and being, it's just great.
I completely agree. And I actually think it rose up the ranks for me. Like obviously Got Spilled came out a little bit later, but when I saw the live concert film and I saw her perform So American in those big arena rooms and the joy, and like obviously with context, she was in La 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 Love, and it was a moment in time for her, but the actual joy that was elicited from her body when she was singing that song, and like you said, the pacing, the fun, the zest for life, the youth that is like radiating out of those lyrics and her body, with her presentation of that song and, her fit and having people really resonate with that song, which had been, I think, like relatively new at the time of that filming of that show. Like it's a special song for sure. And I actually can't even believe it didn't make the first cut. It's so crazy. It's very Taylor coded, where she leaves like some real goodies for the bonus album.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's get to you seem pretty sad. Again, like no, we're both only a week or so into this album, so obviously things will change as you hear it or not. But sort of first impressions, where are you at? What's number 3 for you?
I think number 3 for me is Less.
Okay.
Kind of like what you said with Enough for You, like this is heartbreak Olivia at her finest. The haunting, the aching in the vocal performance for me, it's like a time capsule of her heartbreak. It feels like it's live off the floor, like she is like actually in dismay. Just even the way she says some words, or she breaks off her kind of performance and biting of certain phrases is, I would have loved to have been in the studio when they were recording that, just to see what was going on and how they were eliciting that out of her, is just so heartbreaking. I also get this very classic element from this song, like a Judy Garland, like piano, like a ballad from like a film. Like, I don't know. It's transporting me to a different era than this album is really leaning into, which is that 80s new wave, Britpop, like alternative, which is, I think, the majority of this record. This song to me is like a classic piano ballad that almost is like a soundtrack piece, or like I don't even know how to describe it. It's just so hauntingly beautiful. And I just want to hold her hand when I'm hearing her vocal performance, because I, as someone who has experienced heartbreak, I just you want to hold her while she's singing that song. It's just so sad. It's so sad.
It is very sad. It's very sad. But she does heartbreak so well. So right?
She does it very well, and she gets them back in the end. So good for her.
So I'm gonna skip here because Les was my number 2 song, so I'll just talk about it. Yeah, so I think, as we both said already, Olivia does do heartbreak so well, but it's just, again, like her voice, the way that she's sings lines like, I wish you love me less, like just you can just feel it. And I agree with you. I think it's so different from the rest of the album. And I also think where it's placed in the album makes it stand out even more. Like
Agreed.
if this was up higher, I'm not sure whether it would have the same impact.
Talk about it, Jodie.
Yeah,
this is why
right?
track placement is so important. And because we've heard so much about that the record was done, they had to go back in, they had to change stuff, they had to rearrange based on the timeline.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you. That's such an astute point. I don't even know if this song is on the record, the original record. Like we don't know. And what an important piece of musical history we would have been missing had that not happened. So I completely agree with you. It's such where it's placed in the album is particularly poignant, and you just
it just gets you, right? Yeah, it gets you for sure. Okay, what's your number 2?
Okay, I have gone back and forth between 2 songs for this slot, and it's driving me nuts.
Okay.
And again, today it's different. Yesterday it was one thing I wrote in my notes. Now today it's different. So I think for me, it is Honeybee, and again, just a different song. And a gorgeous, gorgeous, beautiful song. I've never heard Olivia sing this particular way before. The harmony is like, unlike the vocal stacking, and the harmony is unlike, it's just, it hits you. It is immersive. It is gorgeous. I also think as one track to really highlight the through line of this record, which is "You Seem Sad for a Girl So in Love." I think Honeybee truly encapsulates that entire sentiment. She's talking about how in love she is with this person, but she is like codependent, and it's not. This is you can almost see her falling off the cliff as she's like writing this beautiful love song, and you know, there's just some beautiful lyricism in it. She's evoking incredible emotion and imagery, and I just think it's a beautiful, beautiful song. And it kind of hits you because of where it's placed in the album.
Yeah. Honeybee to me is like Lacey. I think it's a beautiful song. I just don't love the title Honeybee. I feel like it's such a young kid's word. Like, I don't know. I think the maturity that we're getting from Olivia, maybe that's what makes it so strong. And maybe other fans will find that's why it's such a important song. But to me, if it was a different word, I think I might love it a little bit more. But you know,
for sure.
To each their own. Number 2 is for me is Stupid, or it would be number 3 because I already did my number 2, is Stupid Song. I don't love the video. I don't love any of the videos that she's released so far for this album compared to.
Yeah, I think the artistic direction of The Cure is very interesting.
Yeah.
And I think the physical media of it all
it
brings me back to like the Barbie of it all, where they were using like real sets and like the you know, with the yarn and like the actual everything is cardboard and it's physical and it looks so fascinating. Is it my favorite video she's ever put out? No. But is it cool? And does it have a point of view? And is it evoking something interesting? But I agree with you. I don't think it's my favorite video.
But what I do love about Stupid Song is the build up. I'm a sucker for a build up, and this song has such a great build up. And then when it hits, like it's just like it just takes you away. It's just again, like she does such a great job of painting a picture. I think we talked about this in Driver's License. I feel the same sort of in Stupid Song, that you know where you are with her, you're with her as she's going through all this. And the fact that she, I think there's some sort of, I'm not sure what the right word is, but there's something interesting about her singing about a song about saying that there's no stupid song that could ever make her feel, the way she does, when so many people would use her songs in that way, right? Like there's so many people who would be like, I can't describe to you how I feel, but this song that Olivia has written does. These puts into words exactly how I feel. And the fact that she's singing about that and how that can ever work for her, to me, that's very interesting. I think she's looking in on herself a lot on that. And I just think it works so well.
100%. And she's such a student of music, as we've seen on this record. And she has such interesting influences. And again, there's so many love songs that she has clearly taken inspiration from. And the fact that, again, she has no words. They're out of all of her musical lexicon, not only her own discography, but like out of everyone she studied. That's a great point. So true.
All right. Hit me with your number 1.
All right, number one pick. This was easy for me. Like when you
Yeah.
asked me to make this list, I started with the most recent record and then I went back. I think What's Wrong with Me is like, again, what pop girly is getting Robert Smith, the Robert Smith, on a record? Who is pulling this man out of retirement? No one, period. Like, I cannot even believe her genius when we talk about, you know, like just the references to The Cure in general, the fact that it's Louis or Lewis, excuse me, I'm not familiar, but the fact that like that's his favorite band, and she's kind of pulled all of this inspiration from living in England and listening to this work. You know, there's so many Cure references on this album, from the title of The Cure to Melt. You know, there's Melt With You by I believe it's Modern English. So that, again, that new wave kind of vibe. There's also Just Like Heaven, which is my favorite Cure song, and Drop Dead, which is, again, an honorable mention. I just didn't have enough room, but I love that track. Again, another generational album opener.
Yeah.
There is something incredible about hearing her duet with a gentleman of that caliber when we talk about genre bending, when we talk about cross-referential, when we talk about impact. There's something just so special about that song. And I also love that Olivia is like, I'm actually not the problem. The man is the problem in this situation. You are what's wrong with me. It's not me. It's like, I'll never be enough. It's not that. It's like, why am I sick? Oh, I think it's because I'm with this particular individual and our relationship is not working. I also think that, like, who other than Olivia could get like Robert like harmonizing with himself like that? Like, he's going crazy on that third chorus, and I'm going like, what is going on? Like, I think from a musical standpoint, and people talk about, like, I think there was an article or a podcast episode about, is this a concept record? Is You Seem Sad for a Girl So in Love in a concept record? No, it's not a concept record, but she has such a specific reference point that she is coming back to, and such a strong theme musically. And to just get like the OG guy who like kind of like really took that and popularized it, and also like to spite her man, is crazy. And I love it. And it's cheeky and it's fun. And Robert sounds amazing. And there's nothing more than I love than, you know, Sabrina bringing out Earth, Wind and Fire, or, you know, Olivia bringing in Robert Smith. Like, that's, to me, the legacy of music. Like, this is what we talk about when we talk about legacy. And it's not just like referential. These are like people paying homage and reverence and doing their homework and really spending time with the music and understanding it. And I think this just proves that Olivia is a cut above her class when we think about modern pop stars. No one is doing it like her. No one is getting the cosigns that she is getting. No one is referencing Billy Joel and The Cure in their records.
Exactly.
What do you mean? Like, you are a child. What do you know about Billy Joel, and what do you know about Robert Smith? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's just so much I could say about that song. But it's great.
Yeah. So
period.
Yeah. Leave a little bit for me to talk about, because that's my number one as well.
Yes.
Right. Like, that song is a once in a lifetime song. And, you know, when I first heard the title of the album, I thought maybe because she had such a history with The Cure that maybe she was going to drop a cover. I'm glad it's not. I'm glad we got the duet instead. But yeah, like, as you said, the whole album is Cure coded. All the mentions that you mentioned, there's even one line about his floppy hair as well, which is obviously a reference to Robert Smith and his hair. And as I said earlier,
which is like something else, but not important to this combo.
And as I said earlier, like, she also writes for The Heartbroken Boy as well, and just like The Cure did. And I think that, you know, in that song you get this as well too. And sort of what you also said, like, she introduced the whole generation to Billy Joel with that first with Deja Vu, and now she's introducing a whole generation to Robert Smith and The Cure. And as you said, like, it's paying respect to those who came before. It doesn't matter whether the genre is different or, you know, the fan base is different. Like, she knows and respects what is good music and what is good writing, and she, you know, celebrates that. I think we couldn't ask for a better harmonization. Like, it's one of the best duets I've heard in a long time.
Thank you, Jodie.
Yes,
exactly. Aligned,
right?
I'm glad we finally got there. We finally ended on our on our one true like agreement, and I'm glad it's this one.
Perfect.
To be honest with you,
perfect.
Yeah,
awesome,
for sure.
All right, Julia, thanks so much for taking the time today.
No problem. Enjoy the rest of your day, and this was really fun.
Yeah. All right. Take care. Bye.
See you. Bye.